Hello, class, and welcome to your Albedo Effect notes. All right, so by now you should have cut out your earth and you should have it cut as such. If you have not done this, please go back to the previous video, go through the steps, and we are going to talk about how you are going to put this into your notebook. So these are our interactive notes. You're going to be taking the first set of notes underneath your earth into each one of these quadrants. So I will go ahead and begin. All right. Albedo effect. So before we start, I always like to do a check-in. So when you log into your Pear Deck, please go ahead and let me know where you're at. On a scale of 0 to 10, please let me know how you feel about your focus for today. If you're trending towards the higher end of the scale, please take a moment and stop, come and see me, and let's talk about how we can lower your stress to get you back into a place where you can focus and do your work. All right, pause the video and answer. All right, so welcome back. Let's continue on. So hopefully you're in a good space to focus. And I pressed the wrong button there. So we don't want that button to, All right, so first things first. What did you learn from the mini lab? So what I want you to do on your reflection sheet is write, what did you learn from the Albedo Effect mini lab? Quickly jot that down. So pause the video and then come right back. All right. So what is albedo? The definition of albedo is simple. It's how well the Earth's surfaces reflect the sun's energy. If you recall from your mini lab, you should have noticed that the cup that had the white construction paper on it, the temperature should have been a lot cooler. And then the cup with the black construction paper, it absorbed more of the heat, so it should have been warmer. So again, you want to write your notes anywhere you would like underneath your Earth's quadrant. For me, I wrote mine here, but you can start anywhere in this wheel. So now, in your own words, on your Pear Deck, write, what is albedo? Pause the video now and write your definition. Okay, welcome back. So bright surfaces, such as glaciers, have a high albedo. So when you think about albedo, think about reflectivity, high reflection, okay? And thus reflect a lot of the sun's energy. So here we see the sun's energy, and here are the glaciers. And we know now through our investigations that the glaciers are calving, the ice is calving, and the glaciers are starting to retreat, which could be contributing to our global climate change that we're experiencing. Dark surfaces like the ocean are less reflective and have a lower albedo, which means they don't have high reflectivity. So therefore, they're absorbing more of that sunlight that's coming here, that radiant energy that's coming down to Earth. So again, you're writing your notes inside of your wheel, your Earth's wheel. So now what I would like for you to do on your Pear Deck is summarize for me, what is it that you just learned? What are your two takeaways about high albedo versus low albedo? Pause the video now and answer. All right, welcome back. So the larger the bright surface, the greater the albedo effect. So again, here's what I was talking about. So when you think back to the mini lab that you did where you had your dark colored cup and your light colored cup, you should have noticed the temperature differences. So when it's dark surfaces, the albedo is much lower. So therefore, you see that more of that sunlight is being absorbed. Whereas when it's a light surface, such as a glacier, you're going to have a higher albedo, so higher reflectivity. So a lot of that solar radiation is going to get reflected back on out to space where we want it to go because we don't want it to linger here on Earth for too long. So variations in the Earth's albedo is not an unheard of event. It can be affected daily by cloud cover, seasonally with the formation and melting of sea ice. So the albedo effect here on Earth, it does vary. So here you have the cloud cover. And when we get into feedback loops, we'll talk about like how clouds also can contribute to warming or cooling effects here on Earth. And then when our glaciers melt, Therefore, we're lowering our albedo. So we're decreasing it. So again, for that note, on mine, I just wrote it on us along the side. But again, these are your notes. You can write them wherever it suits your needs. All right, so albedo effect continued. In the long term, with glacial maximums and minimums. Remember, we talked about that when we first started talking about Milankovitch cycles and how the Earth has these cycles that it goes through. And we know that right now we're probably due for an ice age. However, due to the current climate conditions, we're just not there yet. So, Arctic sea ice has been declining for 30 years. The temperature change in the Arctic since 1970 has been 3 times more drastic by 2 degrees Celsius than the rest of the world. So we need to try to find a way to begin cooling. The summer sea ice is almost half what it used to be, exposing more ocean surface. So here we see again the ice is calving, and we don't want this. We want this ice. We need this ice here to kind of keep that cooling effect on Earth. So the consequence is a change in the albedo due to a decrease in the Earth's ability to reflect energy and an increase in its ability to absorb it. So again, going back to that light and that dark color. Remember, light has high albedo, high reflectivity, and it's what we kind of want. But that dark color has lower albedo and low reflectivity, which means it's absorbing more of that heat and it's staying here on Earth. And that's what's causing this ice to calve. So, fun fact, here's a cartoon illustrating that dark surfaces will absorb more solar energy than they reflect, and that bright surfaces reflect more solar energy than they absorb. So, what I would like for you to do in your notes is go ahead and draw this diagram just the best way that you can so that you have that visual to help you understand. All right, so pause the video and draw. All right, so you have reached the end of your lesson for today. So I would like for you to reflect on what was easy about the lesson. Let me know what was interesting and challenging about the lesson and what was too hard about the lesson. And if you have any discrepancies or you're lacking any knowledge anywhere, remember that you can always schedule an appointment with me so that I can help you out. All right, students, so happy learning, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.